crazy how time goes. People come and then people go.
Well, good morning. It's Monday the 18th, and I apologize for not getting a Sunday thought conditioner out to you on Sunday night. We had a medical emergency over the weekend and we needed to tend to that, and I didn't have the mental space to get that done. So coming to you today, Monday the 18th, I wanted to share with you some things I learned on this trip. Hi, I'm Doug Snyder. It's Intimacy with God Ministries, and this is Sunday's Thought Conditioner on Monday, February 18th. Anyway, the word for today is binary. Binary. Now, binary means it's kind of like a number system based on 2 versus 10, or it's that there's a choice between two things as opposed to multiple. And the word binary came to me as we were actually this morning as I was reviewing the weekend and what we did. We went up and our son went and skiing in Mankato, so we had to go to Mankato, and then from the directions from Mankato to where we were going took us through back roads. Wonderful, beautiful drive, because Saturday was sunny, just much like today, sunny and clear and no wind, and it was absolutely gorgeous. But we went through every little town, we turned every direction, left, right, went forward, we went backward, we went all over. But the bottom line, or the bottom point, is that we were constantly moving north towards the hospital. And I find that in life we seems like we have a lot of choices. But when we strip away all the choices, it really comes down to two choices. Are we either moving to God, or are we moving away from God? Are we bringing life, preserving life, celebrating life, or are we doing the opposite of that? And so, binary. You know, life, no one lives a straight line in terms of their direction to God. We all go left and right, and sometimes we go backward. I've gone backward in my life. I've gone backward in my faith. I get mad at God. But what I find is that when I'm able to understand why I'm mad at God, it usually comes back to a hurt that's unresolved, or it's an expectation I had that wasn't handled or answered in the way that I wanted it to be answered. And so I think of verses like, why are there fights and quarrels among you? Well, because you want and cannot have. That's one of the reasons. And, you know, I don't dislike dialogue. I don't dislike engagement. But I want to be the person that's constantly moving towards God, and then able to say, well, you know, I guess I did something that wasn't moving towards God, and I apologize. I mean, who hasn't done something, tripped up in a day, thought something, done something? I mean, so my point is, just make your one decision that you're going to move towards God every day. One decision. And then regardless of how that day goes, just keep moving towards God. Now, if you need to backtrack a little bit, and if you find out you're wrong, if you find out you made a wrong decision or you did something, I mean, I've apologized to each of my kids, because I know that in my parenting I wasn't always the most gracious and the most loving. I've apologized to my wife many times. I've apologized to coworkers. But my one goal remains the same: to move closer to God. I want to be intimate with God. I don't know if I'll ever make it on this earth, but Jesus is my model. And he was the one who said, I and the Father are one. And Jesus is our example. So we keep moving towards God and moving towards intimacy, moving towards oneness. And what does that intimacy, oneness mean? It means that Jesus said, you know, I don't say anything unless the Father tells me what to say and how to say it. I don't do anything unless I see the Father at work. And that's different for each of us, because we each have a different role in the family of God. But together, each of us individually pulling towards God, working together. It's kind of like that kite. It's a really cool kite. It was a circular kite at the Clear Lake Kite Festival. And it was a humongous circle with it looked to me like dozens of strings coming from the parts of the circle going to one main tether rope that went down to the ground that the person was holding. And I don't even know if it was one person, it just looked huge. So it was one picture I saw, it just was a cool image. But I like that because all of us are strings, so to speak, on a kite, and we all tether back together to one body of Christ. But we should all be moving in the direction of intimacy, direction of moving toward God, becoming like Jesus Christ and one with the Father. Okay, that's enough for today. I thank you for listening. I encourage you to share this, like it, comment please, and we'll see you next week.